Yash. 3 stages of awakening. First stage, collective. I call it collective stage. Collective stage is when you deeply believe in all this software that's been installed in this human unit. You think this is what you are, this body, this mind, your thoughts, your desires, your tendencies, instincts, everything. You just accept this is who you are. This is how strong this game is. It's like we're duped. The consciousness dupes itself into this delusion. It puts on this matrix outfit, and it's like, boom, this is what I am. And most people have that really intensely. The identity with this is super strong. That's first stage. And so you just live to eat and to work and to get drunk and to have sex and procreate and try to please your senses, and then you die. And they don't even contemplate death. They don't even think they're going to die. Like, those people are very uncomfortable to have a conversation about death. They just, something inside, like, they don't want to go there. Whereas a real yogi is like, you're meditating on death. You're contemplating it. You're like excited even. Like, whoa, what's going to happen? That's going to be a heavy psychedelic experience. So much energy is going to get released when we leave this body. The consciousness is just free, like taking off a tight glove or something, or shoe. So see, there's a difference there. But that's evolution. That being who contemplates and meditates on his death is he's probably died a bunch of times, previous lives. That's why we got to bring karma and reincarnation into this sometimes, because there's just no other explanation. How are you gonna, what's the difference between, like, I'm like sitting out in the woods. What's the difference between a Buddha or a Jesus or a Krishna or a Sufi or a Lao Tzu and a simple village person who, like, doesn't think about anything except taking care of the kids and eating and etc. And very simple. I like those people, though. They're just very nice and simple. Unless, see, that's what I used to say about when I was in Bali. I was like, these villagers are so nice. Wow. And the guy's been there for years. He's like, yeah, steal something from them. See how nice they are. And he told me the story. Like, some thieves, they don't like thieves. They stole something from the village, and the villagers, man, ran after him with hatchets and rocks and caught up to him. Was beating him down. Old ladies were dropping boulders on the guy's head, and killed him ultimately. And it's not a rare like that. That's what happens, And those thieves are praying the police come to take them away from these villagers. And then the villagers go back to being nice. I asked a villager once, actually, because I was curious. I'm like, I got to understand this a little better, He was, spoke English. And I said, how do you guys do that? Like, if somebody steals something, why, like, beat them to death? Like, is that really justified? Like, does he need to die? Not only die, but die a torturous death? He says, man, we don't mean to. We just get into it, And then other people, it's like animal instinct. That's what it is. It's like they just graduated from the animal kingdom. They got a human body now, but the animal instinct's still there. It's like, you ever notice, like, animals, like the one dog barks, the others start to come. They can't help it. They like it. There's something that activates that instinct. Same thing with the villagers. One starts hitting them, they all want to jump and hit, and beat them and kill them. Anyway, was that a good example? There's different levels of collective, So anyway, but that's the first stage, I'd say. Are people coming? You keep disturbing my video. It's all right. I'm going to muscle through. I'll wave to them, and then I'll continue. I'm not going to start over. Why, right? Yeah, so give me a second. Making a video.
Okay.
All right. What's the second stage? First stage, collective. Second stage. Second stage, let me summarize first, and then okay. The three stages are there's mosquitoes. Three stages: collective, individual, and you could say transpersonal. First stage I gave was collective. Second stage is individual. The consciousness, see, when I say collective, it's like, you know how like, okay, if there's a bunch of mosquitoes, there's really only one mosquito. They're kind of just sharing a bunch of different bodies. The collective is kind of like that. I feel these accidents that involve thousands of people, you know, or natural disasters, I feel like those are more, the people that die, generally speaking, it's more of a collective level. The individuals, somehow they get some intuition, some feeling, like if a tsunami's coming, they're like, they don't know it's coming, but they're like, I don't know, I think I feel like going up on that hill and getting something to eat. Something happens, generally. Individual, your karma becomes more individual now. Individual means that there's a deeper self-awareness. There's consciousness of of desires, tendencies, instincts, things like that. You're not just acting them out. You're not just following the software. You're not one with the software. You're still one with it, but there's some consciousness of it. You see? So those people usually end up finding like a spiritual practice. They're drawn to something at some point. As they evolve, there's already some space between the consciousness and the virtual reality suit that the consciousness put on. There's already some awareness of that. So the next stage is they want to expand that. There's some inborn instinct. It's also that instinct is in the collective, but it's deeply asleep. Like it's just not time for that. You know, it's like a seed it just hasn't sprouted yet. So individual level, that seed's starting to sprout. So then those are the people that find like a spiritual practice or go to an ashram, or they're drawn to these kind of talks. Semen retention, good diet, something wants to be purified. They somehow know that there's like a hex over their being, or there's dross over their mind that's blocking their limitlessness that they feel. They want to access this somehow. They may not articulate it like that, but this is how the instinct's driving them, because God put the instinct in all of us to wake up. It's like a baby. Some of these higher level babies, they're just born, they got this baby body, and they can't do nothing. They can't even figure out how to work it. It's like frustrating. They can start crying. They're like, what the hell's going on? Like, why am I so stuck? I'm like a limitless being, but yet I'm super limited right now. So those individuals, that's individual. They're going to start looking for answers. They're going to want to figure things out. And they're going to be drawn to spiritual studies, you know. That may not get ripe, though. That may not activate. We might be collective. Look, we're all collective, even if you're an avatar. You got to absorb some collective karma to have this body and to incarnate. That's just how it is. So at some point, though, that karma is going to get burnt up fairly quickly, and then the individual karma is going to come up. So then we start working on that. And that takes as long as it takes, you know. Don't think about that. See, the mind gets obsessed, you know, when am I going to wake up? When am I going to wake up? You're going to wake up when you stop thinking about waking up. And you're not going to know you woke up. You're just going to be chilling. Next stage, transpersonal stage. Or you can say those are beings who are so-called awakening. That means, you know what it means? It's like, the individual now is combined with the pure consciousness. It always is, but there's realization of that now. The individual doesn't disappear. You don't dematerialize. But now there's such, see, I don't even want to say like, oh, there's such great space between the consciousness and the human personality and functioning of the mind and senses and instincts. Because if I say, oh, there's such great space, then the mind's going to wonder, well, how much space does it need to be awake? That's why I made a video, I don't know if I posted it yet, making fun of the definition of awake. Like, do you got to feel peace 90% of the day? Does that mean you're awake? And does the intensity of the peace have to be at what, 400 hertz? Like, what's the criteria? So the word awake is something that the mind created. It just means the individual starts fusing with the pure consciousness more and more and more and more. And then other people may say, oh, they're awake. Another person who's trying to get awake, who still believes deeply in the concept of awakening or not awakening, they're going to label this person as awake. And that might change later. Maybe that person will do something they don't like. Maybe they won't give him attention anymore. And now they won't be awake anymore. Ah, he's a fraud. See, we don't know. The mind's fickle. But that's the main, I would say, difference between individual and individual and transpersonal is the obsession with trying to get awake and doing the spiritual practice, searching, finding. That's kind of goes down because you realize that that's also part of the play of the individual human mind, this constant seeking and searching. But I got to be careful of that too. This is the problem with non-duality. Because then people who are in an authentic stage of seeking and searching, they're going to call off the search prematurely because their mind likes hearing, oh, there's no really seeking or searching. I'm just going to stop. It's the mind stopping it, though. And then you'll look weird. You'll just be like a tape recorder repeating things that actually haven't been organically assimilated in your being. So you continue, seek and search. You can't help it anyway, really. You're going to keep doing it. Good. That's my point. Even if somebody's so-called awake, it's not like they stop their sadhana. It's not like there's no more vigilance or anything. As long as we got a human body, there's going to be some tension because we're in duality. So I want to demystify all that. I don't even like talking about what's the difference between collective, individual, and transpersonal, because all that is relative still within the matrix or the level of duality. The pure self isn't collective, individual, transpersonal. Personal. It's consciousness. Within the game, okay, you can say these stages exist. No different than if you play some game on the computer. There's stages. But you know it's a game. Well, this same, and you don't take it personal. Maybe I did when I was a teenager. I'd get mad when I lost. I'd break the machine. But let's assume you don't do that. You know you're playing a game. Well, it's the same thing. Consciousness knows it's playing the game, super high sophisticated game called the human game. And so you get to where you don't take it so personal. You're not judging yourself and comparing yourself to, you know, how evolved am I compared to Satguru or Osho or nothing. Consciousness is the same in them as it is in you. But within the game, there appears to be, maybe they're a little higher. Everyone, and there's beings higher than them. Within the relative world dimension, there's always going to be somebody higher than you. Yogananda, how can you get higher than him? Yet Sri Yukasteshwar was higher than him, according to Yogananda. Lahiri Mahashaya was higher than Sri Yukasteshwar. Babaji was higher than Lahiri Mahashaya. You see? So you just chill. Like, realize it's a mind function, this constant comparison and all that, and then you'll feel a more spaciousness in you. But that spaciousness will continuously expand. There's no 100%, I'm done, I'm spacious. No, there's a constant evolving process that never ends. Isn't that nice? I like it. Take care.